Konnichiwa minasan, genki desu ka? Atarashii video e yokoso. Happy Halloween! Eh? Nani? Cosplay janai. Choto mate yo. Having some sex with the bees and the yaika. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, I don't have the red scarf, but use your imagination. I'm cosplaying on a budget. I really wanted to do something for Halloween, but didn't quite know what to do since anime doesn't really spook me the same way that traditional horror movies would. Even though, for the most part, I don't really get spooked. I mean, sure, there are jump scares and stuff like that, but nothing that really keeps me up at night, you know? It wasn't until one day when I was scrolling my life away on Facebook that I came across a quiz by our good friends at Crunchyroll, who should one day totally sponsor and work together with me. I would totally say yes to that. And the quiz reads, what type of anime character should you be for Halloween? It's a bit late and I've already made my decision, but let's see what they have to say about the whole ordeal. Okay, before we begin, let me get my specs out, because as you can probably guess, I have really poor eyesight. Next, let me get the good book out, my iPad. Okay, quiz. Which kind of anime character should you be for Halloween? Link start. Question 1. How do you take your scary movies? 1. Gore and all. 2. More of a psychological thriller kind of person. Or 3. I don't. Keep the heebie-jeebies away from me. If you look at my watch list of the anime that I have watched, you'd think that I'd be leaning towards the number 3 option. But that's mainly because when I first started watching anime again, I wasn't really into horror type of anime, because horror type of anime doesn't really scare me the same way that normal horror movies do. But as of recently, I have been leaning towards more psychological thrilling anime, so I'd go with number 2. More of a psychological thriller kind of person. Question 2. Pick a classic Halloween icon. A jack-o'-lantern, a spider, a witch, a ghost, or a bat. Now, when it comes to witches, the idea and the imagery that is evoked when I think of anime witches is pretty wide and varied, as you can probably imagine. Some of them being pretty attractive and some of them not so much. So let's just go with jack-o'-lantern. It's a sort of more inclusive and general Halloween icon. Jack-o'-lantern. Question 3. How active are you? I jog every day. I work out a couple times a week. I do some stretches every now and again. 4. I'm a slug. Before the pandemic and whole quarantine thing, I went to the gym every day in my building. But ever since the pandemic, they sort of locked it up, so I'm lucky to stretch every now and then. I stretch every day, but some days, I'm human. So I do some stretches every now and again. Question 4. Dead or alive? Oh, I don't like where this question's going. Option 1. The land of the living. Option 2. The dead shall rise. Oh. I guess I'll go with option 1 since I can still watch anime. And just to be safe. Question 5. How do you feel about mornings? I guess that answers you already. 1. I'm ready to go. 2. Where's my snooze button? 3. Sorry, but what exactly is morning? Normally I would lean towards the third option, but as of recently I do wake up pretty early on a regular basis, but do decide to go back to bed for a couple hours more, so option 2. Where's my snooze button? Option 6. Pick a food. Now we're talking. 1. Anything but make it a large portion. 2. Coffee's a food, right? 3. Something sweet and cute. 4. My enemies. God, who wrote this quiz? I'm not a cannibal. Anything but make... No, because if it's a large portion, I end up getting sick of things really fast. So anything sweet and cute. I can always go for dessert. There's always room for dessert. Question 7. At least I think we're on 7. What's your go-to scary read? 1. Frankenstein. 2. Dracula. 3. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. 4. The Turn of the Screw. 5. The Raven. I haven't read The Turn of the Screw, and The Raven I enjoyed, but I didn't really get into it too much. It's really a toss-up between any of the 3 first options. Which one did I enjoy most? I'd probably have to go with Dracula. Question 8. What's your sleep schedule like? 1. I go to bed early. 2. Night owl all the way. 3. Lots of naps. 4. What sleep and where can I get one? Haha, so funny. I feel like that's a joke I used to make a couple years ago, but since I've grown a bit older, I have to be much more mature now. And like I told you, I do wake up pretty early on a consistent schedule, but I also try to force myself up every night to stay awake and watch a couple more minutes of whatever I may be watching at that time. So I think I'm going to go with Night Owl all the way. And like everybody knows, nighttime is where all the interesting stuff happens. Wink. Okay, I think that was the last question. Here we go. Let's find out our answer. Pirate. You got pirate. Join Fina on the high seas. Your boisterous spirit makes you perfect for swashbuckling adventures. Grab your captain's hat this Halloween and set off on the ocean blue. I'm more of a city boy, to be honest, but I'm always on the search for booty. Well, there you have it. Another quiz done for the sake of being able to post something on Halloween. Like I said before, I'm quite into psychological thrilling anime, and there are a couple that I do want to talk about. Though they may not be considered horror, they are kind of trippy and mind-bending, and I do want to talk about them, but today I just didn't have the time. Anyway, I hope you had a fun-filled Halloween, lots of treats, but not to the point where you get sick. Pace yourself, you hear? 今日はこの辺です。ありがとうございます。ずっと元気でいてね。じゃあまたね。